What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I got an update in the case of this young lady right here, or what happened to her, rather. A lot of you guys that have been with this channel for a long time recognize this face. This young lady up here is someone that we found, grown to know and love. Her name is Tamyra Johnson. This is the young lady from Terrebonne, Parrish, Louisiana, that was found down here, or discovered by police, after being driven down here by these two miscreant people right here. Her mother, whose name is Latanya Harris, and this guy up here that you see, Terrence Washington, he was arrested in Baytown, Texas, out here. Both of these people were with Tamyra in the car. Now, this is the young lady. You've seen this all over the internet, and it doesn't get no better to even talk about this. This is the young lady that was shot twice, burned, and raped repeatedly by her mother and mother's boyfriend. Now, how I play a role in this is not the crime, but I was doing stories on this when this first broke a couple years ago, and it was horrific. You know what I mean? I said some things, I'm not taking them back, about how horrible these people are and what needs to happen to them. In the midst of me doing that series of stories, young Tamyra, at age 15, at the time of this crime, when the news broke, she saw my news articles, my videos, and she reached out to me to come see her at the hospital, which me and my wife Tony went and did. And we seen her right after this happened, within a week, and it was surprising. We had to ready ourselves. And surprisingly, she was in good, her attitude was good. She was active. And, it really hit me, the reality out here of how evil people can be. I get a lot of negative comments on my channel sometimes, and I don't take them off. I leave them up there. I mean, people going to critique you, especially when you're doing something that they don't do, and it's easy to talk about somebody that you see on TV or you see on your cell phone or whatever. It is what it is, but I mean, this situation right here was more than just talking about a story. To see somebody that lived it, a victim of crimes that you talk about, it really takes a toll, and it makes your heart heavy, especially in a case like this, where you have ultimate evil in the form of a parent and a predator in the same house, unleashed upon somebody that did not deserve it. Reason why we talking about this today, a lot of you guys have been asking me updates about it, and I haven't really been responding to you, because when I deal with victims and victims' family, I only say what they allow me to say. But more news has come out, and we're far from done with this, because they're both arrested. They've both been arrested. The mother just took a deal. That's what we do in this video. She took a deal on Monday. I already knew about this. I never said nothing to you guys about it. I had to wait. I talked to family members of Tamyra. Tamyra's supposed to call me tonight, so I should have more information leading up to the night's 7 o'clock premiere. But reason why I'm bringing this up, she got 30 years. This dude right here is still in Harris County Jail out here in Houston, where I'm at. And I don't want to talk about this. I mean, it really still bothers me and angers me, because I see a lot of my little girl in Tamyra from, just the picture, and it's rough. But let's go back to the beginning to get a lot of you guys caught up. If you haven't heard about this story, this is one you got to see to believe. Absolutely heartbreaking. And then I'll lead you all the way up until now, with a mother taking a deal, and I'll give you the details. Check it out.
Terrebonne Parrish girl is recovering at a Texas hospital as her mother sits in jail. We warn you, the details in this case are disturbing. The Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office says the teen was shot twice, raped, and burned. The girl's mother and her boyfriend are suspects in the case. Lily Cummings has details about the mother's previous convictions.
She's an incredible young lady to be able to encounter what she went through and be able to tell our detectives what happened.
With emotion in his voice, Terrebonne Parish Sheriff Tim Saunier provided details about a gruesome case that crosses state lines. Last month, his department was notified of a child abuse case that may have gone undiscovered if not for a car wreck. The accident happened on I-10 eastbound in Baytown, Texas, about 300 miles away from Thibodaux. Baytown police say 41-year-old Terrence Washington was driving recklessly and was armed. 40-year-old LaTanya Harris was in the passenger seat. Her two daughters, ages 10 and 15, were also in the car. The police say that the 15-year-old was suffering from gunshot wounds and severe burns to more than 30% of her body.
Detectives learned that mid-February 2024, the juvenile female was burned after LaTanya Harris had learned of a sexual assault committed on the juvenile by her fiance, Terrence Washington. Harris burned the juvenile with flammable liquid and a lighter at the Thibodaux residence.
When detectives searched the family's home behind me here, they say they not only found evidence that a gun was shot inside the home, but they also documented a strong odor of infection and decomposing flesh. The sheriff says the girls were homeschooled, which may have been why the abuse went unreported for so long. The sheriff says Harris and Washington denied her medical care, and now they face a laundry list of charges. WWL Louisiana obtained court records that show Harris pled guilty to child desertion in 2017. At the time, the court ordered her to, among other things, complete a parenting class.
It will shock you.
Joe Waits says in his nearly 28 years as district attorney, he's never seen anything this horrific.
Will we ever get justice for this person? I don't think that we can. The parts of her body that she's lost, the horrific mental and physical scars that she'll endure for the rest of her life.
Washington is in Texas being held without bond for crimes there. Harris is in Terrebonne Parish Jail being held on a $1 million bond. In Terrebonne Parish, Lily Cummings, WWL Louisiana.
New details tonight in that heartbreaking case of a Terrebonne teen that deputies say was tortured at the hands of her mother and her mother's boyfriend. Tonight, we uncovered DCFS documents that showed there was an alleged history of abuse, according to those papers. WDSU reporter Jonah Gilmore is in Terrebonne Parish with the emotional reaction from the teen's father and stepmother.
The family says it's been hard to see the child in a hospital bed burned from the face down, but they're being strong because she's proving she's a fighter.
Seeing my child for the first time like that was like seeing, it's like seeing someone dead.
The father of a 15-year-old deciding not to show his face, but letting his words describe his pain.
I'm angry. I feel like I let my child on. Like I wasn't there to protect her.
According to the Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office, the 15-year-old was raped, intentionally set on fire, and shot. The sheriff calls the incident torture at the hands of the child's mother, LaTanya Harris, and the mother's boyfriend, Terrence Washington.
You know, you see things and you hear things like that on TV, but when it's your child, it's not a feeling you could explain. It's not.
According to Louisiana's Department of Children and Family Services, the 15-year-old has severe burns to her body dating back to October of 2023. They say most recently she also sustained gunshot wounds to her chest, cheek, and face, leaving her without an eye.
If you was to see what she looked like and what she'd been through and how she went there.
The child's stepmother, Latricia Johnson, says she is a fighter, showing signs of improvement each day.
Considering all she's been through, I don't even see how she's not mad at the world.
According to DCFS, there were reports of abuse involving the child's mother in 2013 and 2014. A report from the agency says the child was placed in foster care for a short period of time. The family received in-home services once the child returned to the home. The father says another incident happened in 2017. The teen was stranded on the side of the road, and that's when he became the custodial parent. He says in 2022, the child wanted to rekindle a relationship with the mother, and he allowed her to go, something he says he now regrets.
I regret. That's why I feel like it's my fault, because I allow her to go back to try to establish a relationship back with her mom. And I'm sorry that I feel this way, but I should have been that type of, no, you don't need to be wrong.
As the family still tries to understand the why,
We never thought that a child going with their mother would be a bad thing. And in this case, a horrible thing.
they're keeping the teen in high spirits as she works toward recovery.
She was like, Dad, I feel free. I'm finally free. And I know where that comes from. She's finally able to get away from that and tell her story.
The family tells me the 15-year-old will be undergoing surgery soon. They tell me a lot of the surgeries will have to be cosmetic and insurance doesn't cover it, so they will have to come out of pocket. Reported in Napoleonville, Jonah Gilmore, WDSU News. WDSU News.
Well, the mother is charged with attempted first-degree murder, second-degree cruelty to a juvenile, and domestic abuse, battery, child endangerment. The mother's boyfriend also faces a list of charges. The two are set to appear in court next month.
All right, guys, just looking back at those videos is rough. Now I'm gonna tell you something. This story broke today on the media, but I knew about this earlier this week, so I wanted to make sure it was out, and they gave me permission to talk about it. So this is the headlines of this morning from WDSU News in the article. It's not in video form yet. It says, Terrebonne mother pleads guilty to shooting and burning her own daughter. It says, a Terrebonne mother has pleaded guilty to shooting and burning her 15-year-old daughter. According to Terrebonne Parrish District Attorney's Office, Latanya Harris was sentenced to 30 years of hard labor without benefits of parole. So she has no parole, she has to do the whole 30. In April of 2024, Harris, along with her boyfriend Terrence Washington and children, was involved in a crash near Baytown, Texas. When the Baytown Police Department arrived, police found the 15-year-old girl who was badly burned and shot in the chest and the face. The sheriff said the couple, who were identified as the girl's mother and the mother's boyfriend, had intentionally burned and shot the teen. The Baytown Police Department confirmed that Harris, 40, of Thibodaux, and Washington, 41, of Thibodaux, along with a minor child, which was Tamyra's sister, were taken into custody in connection with a crash and discovery of the teen. A 10-year-old girl who was with the family was interviewed by deputies. When Washington was questioned, the boyfriend, he admitted to Baytown officers that he had shot the teen, sexually assaulted her over the course of several months, according to the release issued by the sheriff's office. The sheriff said the child told them during Mardi Gras that she woke up several times to her mother setting the teen on fire. This is the sister's testimony, with a bottle of rubbing alcohol and a lighter. The child also revealed that the teen was shot on 2 different days and was left untreated while the family traveled to Texas. A search warrant was then executed to the family's home, where detectives said they found evidence that a weapon had been shot and the smell of blood and decomposing flesh were found. The sheriff's office said Washington reported that Harris burned the teen after learning about the sexual abuse. Washington told detectives that Harris blamed the girl for the sexual encounters, according to the news release issued by the sheriff. According to Louisiana's Department of Children and Family Services, the 15-year-old had severe burns to her body dating back to October of 2023. According to DCFS, there is a valid case of physical abuse with the mother as a perpetrator concerning the child in April of 2013. The family was referred for outside services as a result of the April 2013 investigation. DCF said in April 2014, there was another valid case of physical abuse with the mother as the perpetrator concerning the child. The agency said the child was placed in foster care a short period of time, which we saw in the news article, And the arrest warrant has been issued for Washington, who remains in jail in Texas, and he's still here right now. So basically, she got 30 years, no parole. That was the deal that they struck. And she should have a sentencing hearing soon. And just going back and revisiting this case, man, I mean, as bad as it is, when I seen Tamyra, she was in very good spirits. You know, she was jovial, happy, and relieved. Some of the things I've heard about this story that have not been put out in the media are absolutely horrendous. But I don't have permission to say that. Maybe later on, because this case is more, you know, not done yet. But she suffered 4th-degree burns. I didn't know that the burn index went past 3rd degree. 4th-degree burns, ladies and gentlemen, is when your flesh is burned away and your bone is exposed. This young lady, man, I mean, this is heartbreaking. I mean, just the betrayal and the backstory of it. You know, she wanted to go back with her mom after the abuse allegation. She wanted to go back with her mom just to see if she could rekindle the relationship because she was older. And it almost cost her life. When you think about that kind of betrayal, this is your mother doing this to you. And you know, the father, shout out to Tim, I met him, you know what I'm saying? He's a good dude. He carry a large sense of guilt because as a father and a protector, he feels as though he could have did more. And it's always like that, you know, and it's like sometimes, you know, it's easy for people to say this, but I mean, sometimes you can't beat yourself up for things that you didn't see coming. And that's one of the things, the battles that men go through, or just people, period, with dealing with guilt when somebody gets victimized and they shouldn't have it happening to them. But anyway, the mom is sent to prison, where she's going to prison. Now, I don't know when the sentencing hearing is, you know, but they was prepared to go to trial. You know, I don't really believe in deals. But this case, you know, Tamyra was ready to go up there and take the stand against her own mom. And, you know, some people might say, hey, well, you know, her going in there and having to relive that horror and stuff like that, it might be a good thing that she took the deal. Honestly, who am I to disagree with that? Because the only person that really knows, you know, the horror, the true horror in that house is the one that would have had to take the stand against her own mom. So if they cool with it, I have no reason to speak against that. But I mean, I'm going to say this before I leave out of here. This channel is a strong channel. And it's because of you guys. You guys that were touched by this story. You guys that still ask me about Tamyra Johnson. How she's doing. You asked me for an update and all this other stuff. When we put the GoFundMe up, it took off. You know what I'm saying? And we used the power of social media for good. And you guys contributed. You know, so I mean, this channel, like I said, this channel, I'm just the face of this channel. This channel's not mine. It's the people's channel. Your channel. And you responded. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tamyra be calling me tonight, hopefully before the live stream. And I have some additional information, you know, and her thoughts on the whole situation. And like I said, we're not done with this case. And we'll see what happens on the next level, because this guy, Mr. Washington, this animal, still has to have his day in court. I will see you in the next video. Take care, and thank you so much for listening.